Okay, this is something that you don't see every day because the Los Angeles Rams are known for being very aggressive when it comes to building their teams. But in this instance, they went ahead and added a player that kind of made me look at my computer screen and kind of shake my head. So before we get to the content, within the next 48 hours, I'm going to be announcing a winner for $500 on my Instagram account. All you have to do is be a follower on my Instagram at @theflightmike to enter. We're also giving away a separate $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Eric Weddle has had truly a remarkable career in the NFL, starting from the year 2000 with the then San Diego Chargers and all the way to his final season in the NFL in 2019. Eric Weddle played in 201 games, gathered 29 interceptions, and had 4 touchdowns. Which, by the way, if you paid attention, I said he last played in 2019. He did not play in the 2020 NFL season. And during his last time he was in the NFL, I'm not gonna lie, he was fairly serviceable as a safety. It's really difficult to grade safeties, except Jamal Adams. I'm the best in the nation. We could all tell he is a truly horrific safety, especially in coverage.
I'm the best in the nation. 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 I'm the best in the nation.
And a huge liability, and definitely not worth the trade package that the Seattle Seahawks gave up for him. Not to take a huge, gigantic, steamy dump on Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks, but I don't think Jamal Adams was worth the number 10 overall pick this year in the NFL draft at all whatsoever, in addition to another first-round pick that they got last year for Jamal Adams. But I digress. Eric Weddle was actually fairly serviceable according to Pro Football Focus. His run defense was a little bit average. Overall, he had a 69 Pro Football Focus grade. He was really good in pass rush and pretty good in coverage as well. He just didn't play for 2 years, and this is where things get really freaking interesting, because according to Ian Rappaport, this is the first thing I woke up to this morning. Like, I wear an Apple Watch and I usually get buzzed whenever I get news, so I could like jump out of bed and like have a cup of coffee and make videos for you guys. And when I woke up to this, I kind of did a double take because it was so weird to me. According to Ian Rappaport, the Rams are signing safety Eric Weddle to play in the playoffs, per agent David Cantor. With the injury to Jordan Fuller, Weddle steps in. Wild. So let me paint a picture for you right now, okay? Eric Weddle, which, by the way, throughout his career has been a really freaking good safety. Even when he was towards the end of his career, was a pretty above average safety, even with the Rams. He wasn't the first team All-Pro that he was with the Chargers. He wasn't the Pro Bowler that he was with the Ravens and the Chargers, but he was still pretty serviceable. But imagine a guy that hasn't played football since 2019 being signed to join the Los Angeles Rams for a playoff run. Literally, their first game is going to be in the playoffs versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, again, against the Cardinals, I guess you could use as much help as you can get, but this is absolutely bizarre to me, man. Now, here's the thing that I was thinking. The fact that Eric Weddle was signed, maybe there was already some familiarity. Another safety that has been available for the last 2 years is Earl Thomas. And Earl Thomas is 32 years old. And honestly, like, one of the biggest questions, the last time I referenced Earl Thomas was when I made a video on NFL stars that just vanished. And there's no better example of that than Earl Thomas. I mean, the last I've ever heard of this was when Earl Thomas got into a fight with Chuck Clark. One of our early videos on this channel had to do with the fact that Earl Thomas and his brother snuck out to run a train, and his wife at the time tracked him on Snapchat. It was a really wild story that I ended up deleting, but I'm shocked that a 32-year-old Earl Thomas didn't get any consideration from the Los Angeles Rams whatsoever, and I'm really curious to know what happened to him. I suppose there's some familiarity between Eric Weddle and the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams said, we don't care if Eric Weddle is 37 years old, we'll still bring him on. But it still is something that kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit. I tweeted out this question onto my Twitter account. One of my followers responded saying that it's not really that shocking because when you compare Earl Thomas to Eric Weddle, they're kind of opposites in the sense that Earl Thomas has had a history of getting into it with his teammates and causing some issues in the locker room, whereas Eric Weddle has been a world-class citizen throughout his entire career. You can tell that his ex-teammates are actually very excited about his return because apparently Jalen Ramsey was actually teasing Eric Weddle's return from last night, which, by the way, is hysterical to me because I would never imagine Jalen Ramsey getting fired up for a 37-year-old player that hasn't played in the NFL for 2 years making his return to the team, but that's actually what happened. Check this out. For those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, last night, Jalen Ramsey took to Twitter to just tweet he with a devil emoji, which I really didn't make much of because, come on, at this point, it's week 18 and no team is really making any huge moves to their roster. All rosters, more or less, are kind of finalized at this point. I can't imagine a player coming in and playing his first snaps for a team in the middle of the NFL playoffs, but I guess that is exactly what Jalen Ramsey was alluding to, because later on Jalen Ramsey would tweet out this picture saying, "My brother for real, let's get it, E-dub." Okay, fantastic. That makes a lot of sense, man. He must have been a very big locker room guy that had great chemistry with Jalen Ramsey. Maybe Jalen Ramsey even advocated for Eric Weddle because of prior chemistry with one another. Either way, it's a situation that you don't see every single day, and I really wonder what type of shape the man is in. A huge part of me is also extremely curious about what role Eric Weddle will play for the Los Angeles Rams, because during the tail end of his season and when he was playing for the Los Angeles Rams in 2019 in his age 34 season, he started all 16 games. So does he have the stamina and is he in football shape enough so to not only play in NFL games but play in NFL playoff games? Or did the Los Angeles Rams bring him back just as a rotational or maybe emergency safety as a result of Jordan Fuller going down? I think that might be a little bit more likely because I just can't imagine Sean McVay thinking it's a good idea to just get a player that hasn't played NFL football in 2 years and just throw him into NFL playoff games. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're a Rams fan, how are you feeling about this signing? I personally am shocked. I could see it working out. I've seen a lot crazier stuff. I saw Deion Sanders coming out of retirement in 2004 so he could play with the Baltimore Ravens when he hasn't played football in 4 years since that time. And at that point, Deion Sanders was 38 years old. He came back and he was fairly decent as well. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.